5 minutes, we're going to take you through music as you like it, sweet and hot and otherwise. News from all over the world and a thought for the day. Sometimes even two thoughts for the day. First, let's have the fighting news for the fighting men.
Although the bulk of the fighting on the Western Front is still in the area between Dives and Saloon Rivers, the center of gravity of the Allied offensive at present is more massed than before in the mobile wing of the American Army operating between Normandy and Loire. The 1st Canadian Army has been trying to accomplish a breakthrough between Orne and Dives. The Allied pressure in Normandy was brought to bear partly with the intention of tying down the bulk of the German counter-thrust in the area south of Saint-Denis. The 3rd United States Army pushed forward its motorized spearhead with strong Air Force support from middle of the south eastward in order to cut off the German communications. The American units from Nantes and Angers appeared to be moving forward towards the Loire. In Brittany, the Allies redoubled its efforts to take the fortified coastal places. Fierce fighting is going on for Lorient and off-Brest. In Saint-Malo, the German garrison is continuing to offer heroic resistance. There was no noticeable change in the battle line between the Saloon River and the area south of Vire. The battle continues north and northeast of Falaise. Here, Canadian attacks were met by German troops with stubborn resistance. In Italy, no major operations took place on Saturday. On the eastern front, the several Soviet attacks between Kursk and the Big Vistula Bend were warded off and numerous Soviet tanks destroyed. The Luftwaffe carried out several successful raids on Soviet tank columns west of Baranov. Northwest of Bialystok, further breakthrough attempts by more than Soviet divisions were checked in a grim battle, as were all Soviet thrusts in Latvia. Southwest of Lake Pleskau, on the other hand, the Soviets succeeded in enlarging their penetrations. On the Indo-Burma front, the Japanese forces inflicted tremendous blows on the enemy troops of over 30,000 in battle around Myitkyina. Within a period of 5 months up to the end of July, the enemy suffered the loss of more than 15,000 men, including those killed, wounded, and taken prisoner. In the Pacific, our garrison on Chichijima Island in the Ogasawara Group repulsed on Saturday an enemy formation of 16 four-engine bombers, which came to raid the island. At dawn the same day, 16 enemy fighters attempted to raid Wochi Island in the Marshall, but were beaten back by our interceptors.
You have just heard the fighting news for the fighting men. This is the 0 hour calling in the Pacific.
Heard about the trouble we had, boss?
What trouble?
You remember Frank Watanabe?
Yeah, we had him Saturday.
Well, he was on again last night.
How come?
He busted right in on the news.
You're not allowed.
That's against the rules. Well, that went out anyway.
Hey, Gus, sit up on that. In the meantime, we bring you Anne and her playmate, the orphan.
Orphans of the Pacific, House Chick. This is after her weekend, Annie, back on the air strictly under UN hours. Reception okay? Well, it better be because this is all request night. And I've got a pretty nice program for my favorite little family, the wandering boneheads of the Pacific Islands. The first request is made by none other than the boss. And guess what? He wants Bonnie Baker and my zip-freezes roll. Now, what taste you have, sir, she said. resistance is low. You say that you love me truly, but then you proceed to act so unruly. I ought to say no, make you let me go. Oh, but my resistance is so low. I used to dream of a true love, of what was so sweet and so divine. Oh, but you brought me a kind of new love and a spoken full possession of my mind. I like to go to dances or a movie with you, but you just want to park the car and lift a little room. I ought to say no, make you let me go. Oh, but my resistance is so low. My mother always tells me a kiss is all right when it's dark and after 12 and you turn off the light. I ought to say no, make you let me go. Oh, but my resistance is so low. And now that hat will be passed. The second request is sent in by a roaming bonehead of an orphan, request number 29. He wants Tony Martin, of all people, to help him forget the mosquitoes and dirty writing. Well, you know, obliging Annie, Tony Martin, and now it can be told.
The world may know the sentimental story